Independence is not a kingdom model. Being independent is not a kingdom model. It is interdependence that makes you float. When I'm depending on someone and they're depending on me to do my part, God never designed you to succeed alone. Never, not once. Oh, I forgot to introduce myself. I think most of you know me by now. Dr. Martin Williams, and what I do is I help people discover, develop, and deploy themselves into the world, but they don't lose themselves in this world. That's why I'm here to help you. So let's deal with the myth of individual success. Culture celebrates the self-made person, but let me challenge that again. There is no such thing as a self-made person. There are no self-made people. When we look at the Bible, the reality of it is we have to look through scripture. We have to think about Moses, who had Aaron and Hur to work with him. They collaborated. They had relationships they built upon. David had mighty men formed in the cave of Adullam. These are the men that he built his empire on. He helped them build empires. They helped him build his empire. Jesus had disciples. He did not do it alone. 12 of them. Out of the 12, there were 3. Out of that 3, there was 1. But has anybody told you about the 70? Has anybody told you about the 300? Has anybody told you about the thousands of people that Jesus discipled? Just by walking around with no internet, nothing. It was all relationships. Paul had teams all over Asia Minor, teams and churches and legislative branches and people who were executing policy and law. He did not work alone. So no one built anything significant by themselves. Difficult to do, virtually impossible to do. Now, when we go back to the original, first dimension, even Adam before sin was not designed to function alone. He wasn't. He was told, listen, it's not good for you to be alone. So I'm going to say that. Say it out loud with me. Say it out loud with me. It is not good for me to be alone. I was not created to be alone. I was not created to do it all by myself. There are people that I can join with, that I can benefit them and they can benefit me. I'm not called to be here by myself, doing something by myself so that I can be proud of myself and say to myself, you're on it 100%. That is not the goal. It's not good for you to be alone. In Adam's case, God made for him a marriage. He made for him a woman compatible to him so that he could give birth to more ideas, more function, more productivity, more dominion came through that relationship than anything else. It was through his relationship with Eve. You and I have to have the same thing. We need relationships with people that can help us do what we're called to do, and we can help them do what they're called to do. Here's a question I have for you. Ask yourself this question. Am I trying to build my future alone? Am I relying only on my own skills? Ask yourself those 2 questions. Here's why. Because, and please, again, answer truthfully. Don't lie to yourself. Tell yourself the truth. Am I trying to build my business alone? Yes, I could be. Am I relying only on my own strength? Well, perhaps I am. You got to understand that isolation may feel safe, but it is silently limiting your life. Isolation, being by yourself, you're now cutting off the real blood flow to your life that will change everything. Abraham had this idea of building networks because he understood that networks meant power and creation. Once you have a network, now you have power to do something, and now you're also in security. You're surrounded by people who are thinking about you, who are protecting you because you're part of them. So let's look at Abraham. In Genesis 14, a very interesting statement it said that Abraham actually trained in his house. He had a big enemy he had to go after because of his nephew Lot. What did he do? He went to his network, 318 men trained in his house and in his culture, went and defeated kings. That, my folks, that's a network. That is a team of people. That is an opportunity to get something done. What if Abraham had just shown up in battle by himself with one sword against 5 kings? No, he did not show up that way. He had 318 men who were trained to work together in battle. Business, in a sense, is battle. You need to walk into the room with affiliates, with collaborators, with partners, with those relationships that help to protect you and help you win. That's the bottom line. We want to win, right? So understanding this, what happened with Abraham, that wasn't just family. It wasn't just his family. These are men born in his nation, in his house, that all learned how to work together. It was infrastructure. It was trained capacity. It was organized. All the resources were organized. Abraham wasn't just wealthy, he was connected. I talk about this to myself every day. I feel a super overwhelming thankfulness to God that I am connected to people that I can call, that I can expect, that will help me. And I'm also on the other end of the line. People call me that I'm in connections with, and they ask me for help. They ask me for advice. They ask me if I want to invest. Martin, do you know a certain person? Do you know a way I can get this done? That is a community being built around my kingdom business. That's when life changes. I asked one person before, who was doing it all on his own. Maybe you should hear this. I was talking to a person before, and he was telling me how important his business was and how big it was and right? And I was so happy for him. But I also asked, so who are you collaborating with? Do you own all 100%? Do you have any other partners? Do you have people around you who do what you don't do? No, I don't. Well, because I could see that fall was going to come to him, just because I knew some other things that he didn't know. So I asked him, I said, if your business is worth $1 million, how do you keep your $1 million? He said, what do you mean? I just keep doing business. I said, well, give me the rudiments and the steps on how you would keep your $1 million business. He started talking about products and sales and connections and to other companies and And I said, okay, let me tell you how you protect your $1 million. You protect your $1 million by being in business with others who have $1 million businesses. He didn't understand that until a couple of years later, his business failed. Failed because of competition, failed because he was doing things he wasn't actually gifted to do. So the business fell apart. He came to me as a friend. I said, yes, this is what I was trying to tell you. If you want your business to last, you must have other people who can pick you up. And then I told him the story about a failure in my business, just because it was a blind spot for me. But I had 4, 5, 6, 7 connections. So I went to them and said, this is not working out for me. Well, Martin, this is how we fix it. They gathered around me. So instead of this business going bust and it was done, in 1 year, it recovered because I had friends who could invest in me. I had friends that even though the bank wouldn't loan it to me, my friends would loan it to me. You get what I'm saying? My friends came back to me and said, these are the things you need to do because you missed them. I did exactly what they said, made them partners in what I was doing because they were already partners. That changes things. It is your network that keeps you solvent. That is a true story. I don't want to get into the details, but that's the framework of that story. You don't have to go into crisis when things go wrong if you have the right relationships. Never forget that. It's the relationships that keep you afloat. Your strength is not just what you have. Your real strength is who you have. Who believes in you? Who will come and work with you? Who will help you make sure that everything is restored when the right time, right? So now, I want you to build intentionally. Martin, how do I build intentionally? Do this. You need to get the right people around you. Very important. Martin, how do I build intentionality? Get the right people around you. Number one, get the right people under you. Number two, around you and under you. Number three, get the right people beside you. So you got some folks that are ahead of you. You got some folks that are above you. You got some folks that are around you. You got some folks that are under you, but you also have some people that are beside you. Very important, because one of these relationships can really unlock opportunity, can really solve problems, can really, really, really accelerate years of effort. That's an amazing change. Subscribe to this channel and go ahead and watch the next video.